coaches. Welcome to today's session on the fundamentals of defending in soccer. This lesson is all about understanding how to close down an attacking player, limit their options, and to take control of the defensive situation. The key to great defending lies in 4 essential steps: close down, slow down, show down, and shadow down. Let's break these down and walk through the drill in order to understand and master these key concepts. In support of Big Country Soccer Association's SQS requirements, we recommend pausing the video and taking a read. Once complete, let's move on. Today's session drill is available for download in the video description, or you can go to the Big Country Soccer Association's website at www.bigcountrysa.com. From there, you can download the session plan from the website. Today's session focuses on the basic movement of the defender towards the attacker. This movement is critical in order to then progress into further exercises involving defending, such as 1v1, 2v2, and 3v2 situations. This session is about the movement, closing down the attacker, slowing on the approach, getting into a defensive stance, and being patient until the right opportunity presents itself where the defender can then take control of the situation from the attacker. For this basic drill, we will use a grid approximately 10 to 15 feet wide by 25 to 30 feet long. Players will work in pairs, alternating roles as the defender and the attacker. Play starts with player A passing the ball directly to player B, who will automatically now become the attacker. As soon as the pass is made, player A will transition into the defender and immediately begin the approach. Step 1 is the close down. The defender must quickly close the space between themselves and the attacker, but instead of running in a straight line, the defender must use an arcing run. Why? Because this forces the attacker towards the sideline, limiting their options and reducing the available attacking space. Without an arcing run, this puts the advantage into the hands of the attacker. In this example, you see 2 marked zones. If the defender is pressuring the attacker head on, this allows the attacker to select a couple different options in order to gain the advantage around the defender. This is not an ideal situation to be in as a defender. As you can see in this example, player A is making an arcing run, meaning player A is starting the approach center of field and bending the run, forcing the attacker to the outside, thus limiting the options to the attacker. What this also does is now give the defender a second defender. In this case, it's the sidelines. Once we close down the attacker, we now need to slow down. As the defender gets closer to the attacker, they must control their speed to avoid overrunning the attacker. The goal is to arrive at a controlled pace, just 1 or 2 strides away from the attacker. Rushing in too fast makes it easy for the attacker to beat the defender with a quick move. Now we show down. This is our defensive stance. When we show down, we take a staggered side-on stance rather than standing square to the attacker. This position allows for quicker reactions and better balance. The lead foot should be slightly in front, knees bent, and body weight low. The defender should always have an arm up, creating a barrier, and if the opportunity arises, The defender can step in front of the attacker in order to gain possession of the ball. Shadow down is now where we control the play. Now the defender must move with small, controlled steps, mirroring the attacker's movement while maintaining a staggered side-on stance. The defender should stay patient, not diving in for a tackle, but instead delaying the attacker's progress. The goal is to buy time until a defensive support arrives to support the initial defender pressing the attacker. Let's go over some common mistakes and how to avoid them. If the defender runs straight at the attacker has too many options to beat them. Instead, use the arching run to force the attacker into one direction. If the defender arrives too fast and doesn't slow down, they can easily be sidestepped. Always control your speed on the approach to the attacker. If the defender stands square, they lose their ability to react quickly. Always use that staggered side-on stance. And finally, if the defender lunges too soon, they make it easy for the attacker to slip past. So, stay patient and keep shadowing until the right time presents itself. Here are important key points to remember. Close down space and be 1 to 2 steps away from the attacker. If you're too far away, that gives them time to get their head up, look around, and look for options. Remember, jockey, be patient and don't dive in. The best attackers want you to dive in. Force the attacker onto their weak foot. Be on your toes. Don't be back on your heels. Keep your feet moving and don't stand like a statue. Keep your eyes on the ball. Don't look at the attacker's feet, hips, or shoulders. Focus instead on the ball. And remember, win the ball with confidence when the time is right. When you do step in, get your body behind you. Don't just reach and lunge for the ball with your foot. The following 4-corner development summary is available in support of long-term player development. You can pause the video and view. To recap, close down quickly with an arching run. Slow down as you arrive. Show down with a staggered stance and shadow down to stay in control. Once players master this basic movement, they can progress into 1v1, 2v2, 3v2 situations where they apply these defensive skills under more dynamic conditions. That's a wrap for today's session on the fundamentals of defending. Keep practicing these principles to improve your defensive skills and take control of the game. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more soccer coaching tips.